Hello everyone! Today we're talking travel art kits. I love to take my art supplies with me anywhere that I go. And usually when I go camping or on little vacations, I have been taking sets that are about this big and even bigger. But recently I've been wanting to have a smaller kit, something that can fit in my lap and that I can take with me on an airplane. So this is the new size kit that I'm here to show you today. I'm going to walk you through it, show you what supplies made the cut and got into my kit. Let's talk about travel art kits. Alright, when you're packing a travel art kit, there are two really important questions you need to ask. And the first is, how much space do you have for the art supplies? And are you going to be working on like a table or just on your lap? Now, if you are traveling by car or RV, you might have unlimited amount of art space. Well, pretty unlimited. You can take the kind of bags I showed you at the beginning of the video. You can even take multiple bags filled with art supplies. I've done it before. It's awesome. You have almost anything you want at your fingertips, and it's really fun to do art on your trip, like when you're camping or at a table. It's perfect. But there's the other type of situation where you're going to have a smaller amount of space. Maybe you're traveling by air like I am, and you need to have a kit that can fit on your lap and can be easily packed away and is small and really highly organized and very specific to what you want to do. So that's the first question you want to ask, is the amount of space that you have. Okay, the second question you want to ask yourself is, what type of art do you want to accomplish? Are you just doing some doodling in a sketchbook? Do you want to do some plein air, watercolor, or urban sketching? Or maybe you want to work in a coloring book? Those are the types of things you need to think through, because that will change the size of the bag you're going to take, the size of the materials you can take, and what materials you actually put in your bag. For me, I wanted a mixed media, lots of different things to choose from, but I wanted highly specialized towards water-soluble and watercolor type products. And I'm going to be working in a small sketchbook. So again, that made this kit really perfect for me, this type of bag. So let me show you the bag I ended up purchasing. Okay, this is the bag I ended up choosing, and I did a ton of research on YouTube and watched a lot of artists to see what their travel kits were. Some were smaller than this, and then I saw several that were doing this size, which I think is going to be perfect. I can open this bag up and put it on my lap and use it like a work surface, or it can go on a table where I can work out of it, and I think it's going to be perfect. This is the brand, VONXURY, and I'm going to put a link to this specific bag in the video description. I believe the bag was only about 20 bucks, and it's awesome. Let me show you. It's got a little zipper in the front where I'm putting soft, squishy things that we'll talk about here in a minute. But of course, the most important part is when you open it up, has pockets, all zipper type pockets, so you can hold a lot of things. This should be zipped up front, and then it has a leaf. It actually came with 3 leaves. These two I've taken out and I'll use in another situation for another day. I really appreciate it. It came with 3 separate leaves. This one is sewn in, and then we have these 2 leaves with bigger loops, which I wish I could have used because some of my tools are big and chunky, but they'll be really useful for some of my other travel kits. And then in the back is a nice deep pocket where I can hold everything, including a sketchbook. And we'll talk about sketchbooks towards the end, because I've gone on quite a journey with which sketchbooks I want to include. So we'll talk about that later. So I'm excited to share with you what is in my travel art kit. I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible so that you can get a good overview of what I've decided. I've already taken this kit out on one trip, so it's already has evolved and changed a little bit, and I'm excited to show you what's working really great for me right now. Okay, let's start by talking about the size of the kit, in case that's really important to you. It is, with the handle, about 8 inches wide by about 10 inches wide, and including the puffy sleeve on the top, it's about 4 inches deep. So it's a really good size. You can hold a 6x6 inch sketchbook in here without any problem. Okay, so like I said, in the front pocket, I wanted to keep things that were soft and squishy. So I have 2 things basically. I have a stack of paper towels. My original travel art kit didn't include paper towels, but I find that I'm quite a messy artist, and if I'm on the airplane, I don't want to have to ask the stewardess for some napkins, so I wanted to include these paper towels. Now here is a really cool suggestion that I learned on YouTube. It's a sweatband for your wrist, and it's super absorbent, and it's perfect for when you're sitting with your kit on your lap and you don't want your paper towel or something just flowing around in the wind or falling off your lap. So this little wrist band is perfect, and I got a set of 2 of these for only $7. You can see it has paint on it already. You can just throw them in the wash and clean them really easy when you're ready to. So it's a perfect solution for keeping your brushes clean and not losing things in the wind. It's so great. I can't wait to use that on the airplane. Now let me show you what's inside the first section. We'll talk about this here in a minute. So in this first section, it has 2 zippers. The bottom zipper here, I have a stack of sticky Post-it notes. I wish they were white, but other than that, the first time I went out, I didn't have these, and I wished I had for things like priming your acrylic paint markers, testing things, making notes that you could add to your sketchbook. I think I'm going to use these a lot. Also in this front pocket, I have a little roll of Holbein soft tack tape for making borders in my book, and you always need tape when you're an artist, so that works out really well. Now I have a pencil sharpener here. It has a small case. This is a comb here, and it works really good. I believe it's a comb. Yeah, this is a comb. Has a nice German blade, and it can hold a small amount of pencil shavings, which is all I really need because I can empty it out and keep sharpening my pencils as I go. Now this is a little clickable eraser by Pentel. It's kind of cool. It's really soft, but it's a rectangular shape. Really like this little tool, and it's really a thin profile. So I could have put it in one of these loops, but it's so thin it fits perfect in here. So that's where it's living right now, along with 2 other erasers. I have a brand new, I just sprung for a brand new Kneadable eraser. I needed one that was new, but I wanted the case. So this is a Faber-Castell kneaded eraser. It was only $3 or $4 to buy this with the case, and it's perfect. Kneaded erasers are so clean, especially when you're erasing and the little shavings don't come off. I love kneaded erasers. So practical for small spaces when you're working like on an airplane. Then I have just a standard, this is a General's, I think it was called a tri-tip or something like that. It used to be a triangle shape, but now it's sort of some other geometric shape. It's a really good eraser that I've used a lot, as you can tell. Now I also have in here a little Spritz bottle. This Spritz bottle is only 3 milliliters of water. This is one thing that I'm going to have to empty and then refill once I get through TSA. But it's just the perfect amount. You can get maybe 15 to 30 really good spritzes out of it before you need to refill it. So I can wet my paints or do some spray effects in my watercolor sketchbook. That will be fantastic. Oh, Rose is working on her pillow. I'll let you watch her while I pull out the last 2 things in this pocket. Unfortunately, Rose can't go on an airplane with me, so she'll be staying home with Steve. It'll just be me on the airplane. She's going to be really sad while I'm gone. But when we go camping, we take her with us, and she loves camping. We call her our country girl when we go camping with her, or our mountain dog. Yeah, you're a good girl. Okay, the last 2 things in my front pocket. I have a clear wax crayon so that I can do resists with the watercolor. So that will be fun to play around with. And then this is an ink cartridge to replenish the ink in my Pentel brush pen that I'll be showing you here in a little bit. So that's some extra ink so I don't run out. Now that's everything I have in this front pocket. And I really wanted the pockets to be mesh, and I wanted them to be zippered up so that all these little things didn't spill out. You know, like I said, when you're on an airplane, you don't want to be worrying about that. And this will be sitting most likely on my lap, and so it's an uneven surface. I need everything to be really well protected and organized. Now in the bigger pocket I have 2 water brushes. These are by Faber-Castell. They're medium point water brushes. In case you're not familiar with what a water brush is, there's a reservoir right here that you fill up with water, and then you can squeeze it, or it just naturally comes out as you're working with the brush, and you can do some beautiful watercolor effects without needing a pot of water. So these are really important. I wanted to bring 2 of them in case someone I'm traveling with, my mom or my sisters, want to do a little art with me, they can. Plus I'll have twice the water on the airplane, and again these will have to be emptied and then filled after I go through TSA. Okay, the last thing I have in this big zipper is a set of 12 Holbein artist color pencils. I wanted some color pencils that were not water soluble for doing sketching and for adding details to a watercolor piece of art. So I picked Holbein because I had this really nice set. It's in a tin so it'll be protected. There's 12 beautiful colors in here. I'll show you the colors in a minute. I have them all swatched out so you can see what colors they come with. But this is a really good high quality artist tool that I'm excited to include in my travel kit. Another thing that was important to me when I was packing this travel kit and picking the things to go in it is that I did not want this kit to be so full that it had to be packed one way and one way or only, or it wouldn't all fit. So I left some empty spaces on purpose so that I can wiggle things around and not have to be so perfect when I put things away. Okay, in this kit, this book here, I've been making swatches of all the products that I have included in this kit. So here I wanted to show you the 12 Holbein colors and how pretty they are. It's a good variety. I plan on doing some landscapes, so I really wanted things to be heavy on the greens and some good earth tones. So this Holbein 12 basic set was a good step in the right direction. Now we'll talk about these pens and things here in a minute, but this is the next page I wanted to show you that has a whole bunch of water-soluble color pencils. We have 2 brands. These are Faber-Castell Albrecht Durer. I love these brand of pencils. They are watercolor, they're vivid and strong, and they're artist grade so that they will last forever as far as light fast quality goes. And then on the end here I have 4 Durer Inktense water-soluble pencils. Love these. Again, I was going for earth tones and looking for colors that I was missing in my other sets with the Holbein. We'll also have some Caran d'Ache NeoColor 2s that we get to look at here in this kit. So let me show you all of those here in my set. So here are the Albrecht Durer Faber-Castells on this page, the Inktense Durer and the NeoColor 2s. So that gives me a lot of colors, and I'm going to show you what they look like when you activate them with water. Time lapse. Now, as I said before, I am not sure on what I'm going to be painting in my water sketchbook. It just depends on what hits me creatively. But I'm pretty sure that there will be some landscapes and seascapes involved. So I'm looking for a good balance of colors that will inspire me and allow me to do that kind of art. So let me read to you the names of the water-soluble colors I picked. For the Albrecht Durer Faber-Castell, I picked light cadmium yellow, dark cadmium orange, sanguine, deep scarlet red, magenta, delft blue, phthalo blue, light cobalt turquoise, leaf green, chromium green opaque, and May green. For the Inktense Derwent pencils, I chose tan, mustard, bark, and red violet. Alright, now in the back pocket I have one more set of water-soluble colors that I wanted to show you. These are Caran d'Ache NeoColor 2s. They're a water-soluble crayon or wax pastel. They're so awesome, and I wanted to pick some really unique colors that were a little different but would enhance what I'm doing. Love working with these crayons. They're so awesome. So I will finish swatching these by activating them with water, and you can see what colors I have included there. And for the NeoColor 2 by Caran d'Ache, I selected yellow, salmon, crimson alizarin, gray, light blue, Prussian blue, dark green, olive brown, burnt sienna, and Van Dyke brown. Okay, let me just pan across these colors for you so you can see them one more time before we talk about my watercolor that I picked. So we have the Holbeins, the Albrecht Faber-Castell, the Inktense Derwent, and the NeoColor 2 by Caran d'Ache. So many pretty colors. I can't wait. And that's really important, that you pick colors that inspire you, not colors that someone else told you to put into your kit. Unless that artist really does the kind of art that does inspire you, then go ahead and follow what they say. But I find that I need to really lean into my favorite colors and lean into the colors that I'm going to need for the place that I'm going. Okay, so the next set is the watercolor, and I had a lot of watercolor and travel watercolor palettes to choose from. In fact, the first time I used my art kit, I used my Winsor & Newton artist grade travel kit that I have, and it worked great, but I didn't feel super inspired by the colors. So I did a whole bunch of research, and I've decided to go for my Inktense pans. Now I have a set, let me show it to you. I have this set, the Inktense Paint Pan Studio set, and it's huge, and it has 24 colors in it. I love these paints. They are so vibrant. They're not technically watercolor, but they work like watercolor, and then they dry permanent. That's how an Inktense works. So I wanted to take the whole pan studio set, but it won't fit. So I did some researching and some experimenting here in my art studio, and I discovered that this size of pan, I ended up purchasing this as an empty pan. It came in a box like this, and it cost me only 10 bucks for an empty pan, and it came with all the empty pans inside that I needed. But what I did was I took out all those empty pans and replaced them. The Inktense come in these little sets of 6, so I was able to put in here 18 colors. I'm so excited about that. Instead of just 12 or 14 colors that it normally would hold with the half pans, I was able to do 18 Inktense colors. And I even made a little swatch chart here. It fits a little too well in the there, I got it out. So it has areas for mixing paints here, and then I have my Derwent Inktense swatch chart that I can refer to really quick and easy on the go and know what I'm grabbing when I start painting. So I'm going to show you all these colors again here in this sketchbook so you can see what colors I picked and how it works with the rest of the colors in my travel art kit. Alright, I love the Derwent Inktense pans, but they do have a couple problems. And the first is the little squares of color, the actual pan colors, tend to fall out of their plastic pans. So I solved that by using a little bit of E6000 industrial strength adhesive glue, just a tiny dab on the bottom of each square of color, and then I was able to glue it into their pans. Okay, so the second problem I had with these Inktense pans, they come in these little charming trays that hold 6 pans per tray, and I have 3 trays, and they fit perfectly in the Meeden watercolor palette, but they kind of shift around, and if I got bumped or something, they might just spill everywhere, and I don't want that to happen. I want everything to be very secure. So I used a little putty on the bottom of the watercolor palette, and I was able to squish those 3 trays into it, and now they're not going anywhere. They are perfectly settled until I'm ready to pull them out and change up my colors. Speaking of colors, let me read off to you the 18 colors of Durer Inktense that I chose. First was Sun Yellow, Mango, Bright Orange, Poppy Red, Fuchsia, and Dark Plum. The second tray of 6 holds Violet, Navy Blue, Bright Blue, Turquoise, Hooker's Green, and Kiwi. And the final tray of 6 holds Burnt Yellow Ochre, Red Oxide, Natural Brown, Payne's Gray, Black, and Antique White. I wanted to include Antique White in case I wanted to mix and make sort of a gouache effect with my other colors. Okay, so that covers all the colors that I am including in my kit. Now, also in my kit, I have a bunch of pens, pencils, and markers. So let me clean up here and we'll talk about what made the cut for pens, pencils, and markers. Okay, these are tried and true tools that I love and use all the time in my watercolor sketchbooks. First up, we have a white acrylic pen. Now, this has changed. Sometimes it's been a Copic Acrylic pen. I've tried a Posca white pen, and now I'm going to an Ohuhu acrylic paint pen. I'm always on the hunt for the best, most opaque white acrylic paint pen, and right now this is one of my favorites. It's a nice fine point so I can add little tiny details to my drawings. I'm hoping this is going to be a winner. Now, right now for a black acrylic paint pen, I really like the Copic Acrylic. It's a flat black. It's a rich black color, and it's been very dependable for me for adding details. And again, it's you can hit this with water and it won't budge. And that's one of the really important things to me, is that a lot of these tools need to be waterproof because a lot of my tools up here are water soluble. Now, next up is a white gel pen. And again, this is a product that changes a lot. Right now, I'm really enjoying the Panda Fly white gel pens. I have a full video on this gel pen, and I really like it. I also love the Uniball Signo Broad White. That's another really good one. So I'm going to just, you can't see it really, but it's there. White gel pen. Now for doing lines, right now I'm in love with the Uniball Signo Broad. It's a nice broad 1.0 millimeter ink pen, and you can fill in areas or you can do nice line work. You can even do stippling dots. It's an awesome, dependable black pen. I also have Uniball Signo Broad in silver. Such a pretty chrome-like finish. Love doing details with my silver pen. And then I also have the Uniball Signo in gold. Now, you can buy a kit that has the gold, silver, and white Uniball Signo all in one. Or what I recommend is you purchase this kit right here. It comes with 10 gel pens in the Uniball Signo Broad line. You get the silver, the gold, and you also get a black and a white, and then you get all these other colors. Really a fun set. This is about $27 for a set like that. So it's a little on the pricey side, but these pens are dependable and they're beautiful. Look at the flash that you get on those silver and gold pens. So pretty. Now next up is a brush pen that I can use that will be waterproof and I can get different lines. Right now I'm trying a new one. This one is by Pentel. It is called the Pentel Arts Portable Pocket Brush Medium Point, and it came with a refill. It's got a beautiful nylon bristle brush that you can do different widths and line weights, and it's just really a really pretty pen. I can't wait to play around with this pen in my art supplies. Now, I love a good micron pen for doing fine liners. My favorite is the Micron Black PN. That means plastic nib. It gives very fine, nice little lines, but with a nice sturdy plastic nib instead of a felt tip nib. So it works really good for me. I tend to be heavy-handed with my fine liners, and those little felt tips on the microns, or like this is another one of my favorite fine liners here, is by Pentel. It's called a point liner, but again it has a little tiny felt tip that I tend to squish and ruin too fast, so I prefer the Micron PN. Now this one is kind of a fun one. It's a calligraphy pen. It's called Elegant Writer, and I like it in fine because I'm working in small sketchbooks, so I want a small calligraphy pen, and it does wide lines, thin lines. You can put a title on your page. It's fantastic. I love the Elegant Writer, and it has a 2-for-1. This one is not waterproof, and when you hit it with water, the ink does magical things. Let me show you in here, right here. These flowers are all done with the Elegant Writer outlined, and then I activated the ink, and look, you get turquoise and pinks and blues all come out of that ink. So it's really fun to play around with, and I really enjoy it, not just for calligraphy but for special effects like I just showed you. Rose wants to get down. She's been with me for a little while, so I don't blame her for wanting a change of scenery. There you go. Okay, let's talk about pencils. I only have one pencil in my set. I used to have a mechanical pencil as well, but it was kind of a chubby, fat mechanical pencil, and I didn't enjoy it because it didn't fit really well. And I find I only really need one pencil. I don't need multiple pencils, and I prefer this pencil. This is a Derwent Sketching water-soluble light wash HB pencil. So it's water soluble. So I can do a sketch of like a flower and then come on top of it with paints, and the lines just sort of melt away because it's water soluble. I love it, and I put a little eraser on the end so I can do quick erasing. It's an awesome tool to have in your kit. So that's the kind of pencil I've picked for my sketching. I can also use, if I want a pencil that's not water soluble, I can reach into my Holbein and grab my black over here, or sketch in any of these colors, and I know that that won't wash away. So I have that planned for as well. Then I have two specialty dual metallic brush pens by Pentel here. One is in silver, and I used to travel just with the gold because it's kind of my favorite, but I decided I really wanted the silver. I was really wishing for it the last time I went out with my travel kit. And then this is in gold. It has a nice nylon bristles. This is an awesome tool. Now you can buy these open stock one at a time, but the best way to buy them is in their kit. They come with gold, silver, black. These are all dual metallic, so the colors change according to what kind of light they're under. Love these by Pentel. This kit of 8 colors is about $20, and so you get all the beautiful colors to choose from, but most importantly, the silver and gold, which are just beautiful and fun to work with. Let me bring it up to the camera so you can see my beautiful lines and all the beautiful shiny things to inspire me to do art while I'm traveling. Okay, there's just a couple more things left here in my art travel kit to share with you. Here's my Meeden kit that fits perfectly right here, and my Caran d'Ache NeoColor 2s. I carry 2 binders, a fat chubby one and a skinny one. This is in case I'm out and the wind is blowing and the pages in my book are trying to get away from me. This will hold them down. Now I also have, well, let's look at my travel art brushes right here. This was a really good little set that I bought on Amazon for about 20 bucks. Has 3 different sized brushes. I'll show you the big one. It opens up like this. It's by Fumi, F-U-U-M-U-U-I is the name of these brushes, and it screws back into the handle so you have a nice size brush. Beautiful. This one's a size 12, has a hole in the end so that your brush will dry. You can just put it back in here and store it. And so you've got a medium and a small to go along with your size 12, and then it all fits really nice in this little leather case. Really great deal for 20 bucks. They're not the best in the world, but they do the job, and that's what matters. Now this little thing holds 2 pots of water. This is another thing I'll have to fill up after I pass through TSA. But it has a clip on the bottom, and what I end up doing is clipping this right here, and I can have this open and rinse for rinsing and getting clean water for my brush. And then I can have my sketchbook open like this and work in my sketchbook, and I can do my pieces of art and reach for my paint, all of this in my lap. It works so well. Now, one more thing in my little kit here before we get to the secret compartment down here. And this is by CSY Art Gallery. It's a mini tin box of handmade watercolor. And I chose, they had lots of different metallics to choose from. I chose this one. It has 6 different metallics. They're so pretty. Let me show you what they look like. And I'll put a link to as many of these products as possible. So if you want to get some, you can. This is what they look like here, and I'll move them in the light. You get a gold pearl, Inca gold, gold copper, chocolate green, red brown, and crystal silver. I think they're so pretty, and they just add a little extra va-va-voom to my paintings. It's really fun to have that little tin. Now at the bottom of my kit I hold some flat things so that I don't get to as often. This is a circle tool that I like to use for making mandalas and for just making general circles. So I'll put a link to a video here with this video where I reviewed this tool. It's an awesome tool. Everybody needs one of these. Then I have a small clear ruler. This is I just cut in half one of these rulers by Westcott, so it's just in half so it fits better, and I really only need this size because my sketchbook is a 6-inch sketchbook, so I don't need much bigger than this. And then I have one more ruler in case I need it. It's just a little bit longer so I can do diagonal lines in my book if needed. So that's what I keep in the bottom of my travel art kit. Okay, there's one more thing that fits in my travel art kit, and that is my sketchbook. I wanted everything in one case, including the sketchbook. That was the plan. So I have enough space in here for a small sketchbook. And I started out by using one of these. It's an Arteza watercolor book, has 44 sheets. It came in a pack of 3 of these books for only $30. Great deal. Was really excited about these books. I did a whole bunch of art in here, and let me show you what happened. I was heartbroken, but when you open it up now, you can see the sheets are starting to break and come away from the binding. Can you see that? How it's coming away from the binding? So disappointed because the paper is really nice. It's not 100% cotton, but it's the same texture on both sides. So you can do spreads like this, or you can do individual little pieces of art like that. You can do swatching. I could do pretty much anything I wanted to in here, but I can't work with a book that's breaking. That's kind of a deal breaker. So I ended up getting a refund, and Arteza didn't make me return the books, so I can still use them. I'm just going to have to find a way to get the book back together again. So I'm not going to do Arteza anymore, and what I've decided is to spend a little extra money on the sketchbook to get something really nice. So I have 3 options. I have 2 books by Hahnemühle, I think is how you say it. This one is more of a student grade. I think that's what that means, Academy Aquarelle. So this is one. It's really a skinny, nice sized book. Really like it. You can do full size again or one at a time. And again, the paper is the same on both sides. I bought one book and it came, and I ended up returning it because it had different textures on each side, and the pages didn't lay flat. When you open it up, you couldn't get the book to lay flat. So that was a deal breaker, so I had to return that sketchbook. So I'm either going to bring this Hahnemühle watercolor book, or I'm going to bring this one. I haven't opened it yet. This one is 100% cotton. It's an A6. I think this one was A4, but I'm not positive. This one is A6. Really nice size, a little bit thicker this direction, but you get 60 pages of 120-pound cold press watercolor paper. So I'm going to open this one with you, and let's see if the paper is the same on both sides. That's kind of important to me because I like doing those 2-page spreads, and I don't like it when the paper is different on each side. We'll take this off. Has a nice elastic. I like that. The cover is sturdy and nice, and it has a ribbon in it, and let's see if it's the same. I think it's the same on both sides. So this would be a really good one. This one's more of a landscape layout, where this one is more of a portrait layout, but I could still do double page spreads because the paper is the same. So I love that it's 100% cotton. Again, I've decided this is where I want to splurge and get myself a really nice sketchbook that I feel really good about as I work in it. So that's another option. The one I'm leaning towards right now is this one. This is by Etcher. I've never had an Etcher product before. It's an Etcher sketchbook, square format, 6" by 6", so it fits in here really good. Cold press, 100% cotton mixed media. You get 52 pages. Let me show you. It has a white cover, which I'm a little worried is going to get dirty. It already seems a little dirty, but I might just lean into it and do some art on the front. It does say you can customize the cover. Has a ribbon with it, an elastic to hold it shut, and then the pages I already checked are the same texture on both sides. So again, I can do nice long layouts, or I can just do single page layouts. So my thinking right now is I'm going to use this Etcher book in here, and I may throw in this is a fluid 104 by 6" watercolor paper block. So they're glued on 2 sides, and then you peel off the page as you color with it. I may include that in here as well. And it should all fit comfortably with a little bit of room to spare. Yeah, it fits beautifully. And there it is, my travel kit. I am ready to go. I hope you learned a lot watching me play around with my travel art kit. This kind of kit is never going to stay the same. It will probably always change depending on where I'm traveling, what I'm doing, and what my goals are with my art, what I want to create. But for now, I really love this kit, and it inspires me. When I'm downstairs sitting at my couch, I want to pull it out and do some art while I'm sitting there. So that's a good sign that I'm always longing for this kit so that I can do a little art. Again, I hope I've inspired you to put together your own travel art kit. Comment below, let me know about the things you're going to include in your travel kit that's maybe a little different than what I have here. That would be fun to have a resource in our comments of all the different types of art supplies that all of us are including in our travel kits. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit like on your way out and subscribe so that you don't miss upcoming content. And maybe I'll share, if you want me to, share my finished sketchbook when I get back from my vacation. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye, everyone. Happy travels.